Everybody put those hands up and say.
You are listening to the Track Stars with Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, and DJ Jeremiah.
All right, you in the field with the Track Stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. All right, so here it is. I've been hearing about this all week, and it's time for us to weigh in on this Mike Brown, Ferguson, Missouri situation. Now, first of all, I believe I'm going to title this video Christian Hip Hop's Response, because I didn't actually hear about, because I'm the kind of, I don't watch the news at all. Ryan is the one that tells me all the news, because I stopped watching news in high school. But I found out about this through Christian hip hop artists. I was looking at John Givens' Twitter feed. I was looking at Thizzle's Twitter feed. That's how I found out about this. And they've been doing work in the community, specifically Thizzle, because now Thizzle's in St. Louis, and this was a suburb of St. Louis. And he's been on the street helping people, controlling the crowds, getting aid to people that need aid. To me, he's been the key person. The fact that he ain't on CNN or some news station commenting there's a serious problem. That's where I've been getting most of my information. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm very, very proud of the Christian hip hop community. People have been really pitching in and being Jesus on the street. Now, and specifically, there was one story Thizzle said on his Twitter where there was a guy who came to protest, and he was like, "They shot us, we shooting them." And it was like, Thizzle was like, "Yo, man, chill out. Matter of fact, go back where you came from, or DC or wherever you was from, because it's like, that's not what this is going to be about." To me, that's an amazing presence to be on the street when people want to go and take advantage of the situation by looting and destroying stuff in your own community. That's not going to help. So we need people out there that have the heart of God, that can really control the situation but still demand for justice to be done. That's what we need out there. So I applaud the whole community. It's been stepping up and talking about it. Sean King, Thizzle, all kinds of people. I've been seeing a lot of action coming from our community, so I'm proud of that. So what we want to do, Thizzle was going to try and make it on but couldn't, but we're going to hear from a couple of Christian hip-hop people in the industry, and we're going to discuss it as well and get a little bit of your feedback. So if you're on Twitter right now, let us know what you think. But let's just hear from the community. This person's name is Ada L. He is, if you don't remember him, he was on a song that Black Knight put out. He did the hook for the song. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, it's oh man, you just
I stumped myself.
Yeah, you did. Me too.
But he did a hook. I'll pull it up in a second. He did a hook for one of Black Knight's songs, so you'll remember him from that. It was a great song. And we asked him his thoughts, because he's here in Atlanta, but he's shooting a video, so he couldn't come in studio. So he sent in some audio, and this is a good. If you haven't heard about it, this is a good recap of what the situation that's going on, and then we're gonna get into it in a second. All right. So let's listen to Ada L.
Hey, what's up to the Track Stars? This is Ada L. First of all, about the Michael Brown incident, I want to say this is way bigger. This issue, this is just what's going on right now in the world. But God needs to intervene in every corner of the world when it comes to violence, when it comes to, just the spirit of murder. He needs to intervene in every corner of the world. This is just not happening in America. This is happening all over the world, day after day. We got plenty of young men out here using firearms, shooting innocent people. We have terrorist attacks. It's bigger than this. So we need help right now. But about Michael Brown, I think that they're trying to tarnish his character and use the tactic of making him look like a public enemy to justify what Officer Wilson did to him. Officer Wilson was responding to a two-month-old baby, a 2-month-old sick baby, around 11:48 a.m. He left that scene around 12 p.m. Then he said he encountered Michael Brown and his friend. Now, on 11:50 a.m. on the shooting day, an unidentified officer came to interview an employee and a customer, and they gave the unidentified officer descriptions of Michael Brown and his friend, and they said they walked towards Quick Trip. But they never found Michael Brown and his friend at the Quick Trip or on the street, anywhere to be found. But Mr. Wilson said he ran into him, and into both of them and asked them, could they please move off the street? Now, they're trying to twist it up. They're trying to twist it up. They're trying to cover it up. They're not letting the truth be known. They're covering up for Officer Wilson. And this needs to be, they really need to they don't need to let up. They need to keep going at them. And they need to, ask the hard questions. And they really do need to get some up out of them people, because this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. This doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm a firm believer in praying. I'm a Christian. But right now, I think we need to take action. To be honest with you, we really do need to take action. This is the time, we need to show them that we don't mean business. And by saying that, I do not mean that, we need to go around and set everything on fire and use violence. But we do need to take action. We do need to show them that we mean business. And this has to stop right now. Right now. But my heart goes out to Michael Brown's family, his mother. No mother should never, ever have to go through this. This is not the only incident that's happened like this. My heart goes out to all the mothers that lost children in senseless situations like this that could have been easily prevented. And it's kind of crazy because the police are here to protect and serve, but now it's like they're public enemy number one. It's kind of like the people versus the police. The same people that's supposed to be protecting you, you're scared of them now. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But like I said, we need to take action, and this has to stop right now. We all need to come together, white, black, Latin, Jews, Indian, it doesn't matter. Everyone needs to come together, and we need to take a stand, and we need to put an end to this right now, today. This is Adel. God bless.
Yeah, man. So I thought that was a powerful recap of what's been going on.
Yeah.
Some of the details you heard in the audio. Mike Brown was gunned down. They released recently that he robbed a liquor store. Right before that, the controversy is the cop that was interacted and shot Mike Brown didn't actually know about that situation, and the police are fighting over that detail that he didn't know versus he didn't know. So the anger that's happening now is, why did they release that information? What does that have to do with the death if he didn't know about that? And people are up in arms, looting, destroying the store that he robbed. It's a very, very intense situation, and we want to make sure we address it, make sure we send the right message out as far as looting should not be a part of this.
Shouldn't be the answer.
There should be peaceful protests that we get justice for the killing, because the details that we still are not firm on, but we believe is how it went down based on the witnesses, is that him and his friend were walking in the middle of the street. The cop came and told him to get off the street and back on the sidewalk. The exchange was, hey, we're almost home. We weren't doing nothing wrong. We were just trying to, get to our house. And there was some sort of confrontation. Shots were fired from the vehicle or into the vehicle. That's the debate. And then they turned and ran. He got shot in the back, I believe. And then the witnesses are saying he turned around and put his hands up to give up, and he shot him. Some are saying 10, some are saying 4. The shots are not confirmed yet. Shot more times in his head and his chest, and then he died. That's the issue. Everything else surrounding it, of course, there are some other issues that are involved in the situation, but right now those don't matter as much as what happened to him right then. Because if you watch the video of the robbery, that didn't deserve to be killed. He didn't deserve to be killed over what I saw in that video. So it shouldn't be connected the way it's being connected right now. There's an issue with the police department, to me, the way they've been handling it. Do you know that they were warned not to release that video about the robbery, and they did anyway?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
They're trying to control the story. Here's another issue we're going to talk about. They took 6 days to release the guy's name who killed him.
Yeah.
And now when you search for him, Jeremiah just found him, but when you search for him, you couldn't find him. And I really, really believe they took those days to delete his accounts, his Facebook, his Twitter, to search him on Google Images and find out wherever his face was and delete it. I really think they were trying to clean him off the internet. And there's legitimate concerns because there was death threats for him, and the people were wrongly named by the group Anonymous, this internet, legion. They named the wrong person, and that person was getting death threats in his family. So there are some concerns, but I really believe they were holding back because they don't believe he did anything wrong, and they were trying to protect him. So that's a whole nother issue. So what are our thoughts on this situation?
Ryan Righteous.
Man, okay. So, it doesn't have anything to do with what he did beforehand, although we do feel that is a stain on the situation, because when you talk about a country that's divided, then you have people who make up a certain percentage of what they think should be done. And when you have negative stains on the character, it takes a good majority of people that could do something to move away. It makes them move away from their point of view or their position, and that's sad. This really should be about the fact that he was shot multiple times, and there's not been an arrest, nor has there been any disciplinary action against the officer. Yeah. The thing that really hurts the most is that he was trying to surrender. He was trying to give up. And at that point, the police officer should have been like, okay, now, if he stuck his head in the car, he stuck his hand in the car, that first shot was a warning shot, no matter where he was shot. But that should have been it. At that point, he should have been able to get ambulance help. And I don't know, maybe that police officer was thinking, if I start this, I got to finish it. Because maybe it becomes worse for him if he left him alive, you know what I mean?
I don't think so. And that's where there's two mysteries in this situation. Because they're claiming that the police officer has injuries. I can't imagine a situation where if I was being confronted by the police where I would know when it was time for me to fight back. Because police are allowed to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. Minus shoot you in the face. Where I wouldn't know when it was my turn to start retaliating against an officer. Because I would be like, everything he's doing, he's allowed to do. So that would be a little strange. But the other strange thing is, why do you have to catch him? If he was running away, what is the urgency of catching him? Why not let him get away?
Maybe Michael Brown had a story to tell if he was left alive as to what really happened. You know what I mean?
I need to understand police protocol. Maybe I just don't understand. If somebody that's unarmed is running away, do you have to gun them down to get them to stop?
You're allowed to, if they are fleeing criminal, you're allowed to shoot in the back.
Is that the case?
That's the case. You're allowed to shoot in the back.
So now the only, I don't even know if that's...
But that's like a leg shot, not a head shot.
Well, this is the mystery then, regardless of what happened. If he turned around, either the witnesses and his friend are telling the truth that he surrendered. I can't imagine what other reason there is to shoot somebody who's surrendering like this. The mystery is I'm sure they're going to try and... I'm looking months in advance when they try this, or if it even comes to that point. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to pull up the fact and say that he wasn't surrendering, he was coming back to get me. They would have to claim that. What other reason is there to shoot somebody who was giving up? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Unless, which is what I think, unless there may have been some sort of confrontation, he did run away, and then now dude is just mad. Yeah. What else could it be?
I feel like it was just mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, because recently a lot of people have been posting a lot of different police brutality videos from all over America, different states, different cities, and I've even watched a video to where a guy was running from the police. You know, same kind of concept, running from the police. And this is actually video footage. He's running from the police, and then another police comes out of nowhere, and at that point he's like, you know what? He got down on the ground. He even faced the other way. He didn't even face the officer. He turned his head this way. He's down, and the officer still was kind of running after he had been down for like at least a couple seconds already, and came and kicked the dude so hard in his head. I mean, out cold, just like that. He was already gave up though. He already had gave up, laid down, didn't do anything else, and just lay spread out like they want you to do. They want you to lay spread out. I've been falsely arrested before, so I know what they do, and they can be very forceful without even, like in a personal experience, they had guns on me and pulling me out into the middle of the street, and then got to me in the street and put his knee all in my back so hard as if I was finna go anywhere. Yeah. And put the gun in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going nowhere. I didn't do anything. I didn't rob nobody. I didn't do nothing. They thought I stole a car. Why, I don't know. Racial profiling, probably, most likely.
Yeah. Dietrich.
But it's just crazy that I know police protocol, but I don't, because everybody has like their own rules.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Every county has their own rules. If you in a particular jurisdiction, they have their own thing. Like in LA, like where I'm from, like the Rampart district, they're known to be corrupt cops in a sense. They've been dealing with scandals since the late 80s, 90s, definitely all through the 90s and then a few of the 2000s. But it's like some cops, I don't understand. Like some people, some are out to actually protect, and then there's just something out to show. And there's another video that took place where a guy got wrongly pepper sprayed and just like arrested, and he had nothing to do with the protest. There's a protest that happened, and he was just walking by, and he was the only like black guy over there, and he gets pepper sprayed, and every witness around, which happened to be Asians and white people, telling the police he didn't do it. It wasn't him. Like, you got the wrong person. And the officer didn't even care. He's still trying to wrestle him down to the ground. He put the cuffs on him and trying to yank him. And he just trying to get his eyes because he can't see.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah,
everywhere.
and that's a good point, because what we're hearing is that this issue in Ferguson has been going on for a while. Right. I believe the ratio is 60% black, but the police force 70. Is 90% white. So there's an imbalance as far as who's policing the community. It doesn't represent the community. So there's not a lot of black leadership that they're seeing. So it feels like it's us against them. The other problem is there were studies done that said that in Ferguson, most of the people who get pulled over are black, but only 20% of the black people that get pulled over have something on them, contraband or weapons or whatever. They pull over less white people, but over 30% of them actually have what they're looking for. So, is it 70% black? So
70% of the white people.
I saw 30, so I don't know what the real number is. So what I'm saying is that there's distrust in the situation. So that brings up something. There's a producer named Keon. He actually is from Ferguson. So we got some audio from him, and we want to play it for you because he says that this has been going on for a while. So this is Keon.
Yeah, growing up, I grew up in Ferguson, Missouri. Actually, I went to Jennings. And so all this that is happening or going on doesn't surprise me. I have encountered the Ferguson police, which is predominantly all white, on multiple occasions. One in particular, I remember me and my friends, we were going out to a club. It was around 11 o'clock at night. And one of the Ferguson police got behind us. And so we knew that we didn't do anything, so we pulled over. Moments later, like 5 other police cars came over. And, I mean, we were looking around like, wow, what did we do? So, I mean, it was at night. They had the lights flashing, and they got out with their flashlights, and they told us to get out the car. So it was 3 of us, 3 black males, and they told us to get out the car, and they made us sit down on the ground. Now, mind you, we had on club clothes. I mean, we were clean, and, you know, we didn't want any trouble, so we sat down. The police, what they did, they searched his car illegally. They just went through his car, and one of the things about it is that, you know, I looked at my friend, the owner of the car. He was demoralized. His spirit, his head was down, and I could hear one of the other police officers, and unfortunately they were all white. I heard one of them say, "That's right. All we want is a little bit of respect." And cooperation. I'm looking around like, where did that come from? I mean, I mumbled it under my breath, but you could tell. I mean, you could just look at them. I mean, and they were staring at us. It's like they wanted us to do something, and that was, and I mean, that it was embarrassing. And no, we never filed a police grievance or a report about it, because ultimately we know that that's their motto, and they're not going to do anything about it. I'm pretty sure many people will have accounts or reports about, just like this one that I have, about the Ferguson Police Department. You know, are they racially biased, or are they, you know, they acting under some type of other authority? I don't know, but I do have that, and I know other people who have encountered the Ferguson Police in Missouri.
Yeah, man. So that's what we're dealing with here. I mean, he's from that area. He can testify to the way the police act in that area. So this is a big problem. This is a really big problem, and it's getting worse as the days go by.
Yeah, I think one of the things that they are trying to do with the curfew is kind of setting themselves back. You know, I think when they enlisted the black state patrolman, when they enlisted him as the head of security, he had things under control. The governor messed up by putting this curfew out there because it's just going to make people angry again.
You don't want anger. What we want is to know that the process is moving along as far as evaluating the conduct of this cop. That's all we want to know.
Yeah.
And we want details on what he did. All this other stuff is just gonna make people mad. And I've seen a couple of positive things come out, positive scenes since I've been watching. First one is the story that the liquor store that got robbed by Mike Brown. The people looted it, but then there was another group that came afterwards and they barricaded it. And they were basically saying, we're standing here to make sure it doesn't get looted anymore. That's not the point of this situation. So it looked intimidating because they all, flagged up and everything like that, but they were there to protect the store. And I thought that was a good gesture for the community to say, look, this is not what this is about. The second thing I saw was his friend. His friend that has been on CNN and talking and all that stuff. He was being painted in a bad light too because he was with Mike Brown when he robbed the store. But if you actually see the video, it's very interesting. I saw something that was amazing to me. So what's the kid's name again? Dorian. So he was with Mike Brown in the store. Mike Brown went up to the register to pay or whatever it is like that. And you see a shot of Mike Brown reaching while the clerk was looking the other way and grabbed the box of cigars and handed it to Dorian. Right? So Dorian had the box, and then another guy noticed it. And then him and Mike got into some sort of confrontation. Mike grabbed some more cigars, dropped some, picked them up off the ground, and started walking out. And as he were walking out, Dorian put the cigars that he got back. When I saw that, I was just like, wow, that just spoke to me. Like, this kid, honestly, really did nothing wrong. And he had to watch his friend die. He was in a bad situation at the store because it didn't look like he wanted to do whatever was happening. So imagine this kid going from that situation to 10 minutes later, his friend is dead, and now he's on TV trying to explain to people who are judging his accent, judging the way he talks, and discrediting him when there's video of his character for everybody to see, that he put his box of cigars back down and he walked the heck up out of there. To me, that spoke loudly, and I don't think anybody's talking about that, and I want to make sure that's said about him, that I noticed that, and I commend him for his action in the store even before all the gunshots and stuff went down. So just in case he's being defamed, just so everybody knows, he put the box back, and that speaks loudly. As far as Mike Brown in that situation, we need to know more about it because we didn't hear any audio. We didn't know what was being said to him. He may have taken it because he was angry with what was being said to him. They thought he was stealing it, so it was like, oh, you think I am? So we don't know. We don't know what happened there. So just before people start slinging mud at these kids, make sure you know the whole story.
For somebody who used to work in a convenience store, I'm going to be honest with you, and never, I ain't going to say never, where I worked at, we didn't have audio to the video.
Of course.
So your actions speak louder than your words would do.
But
so,
you can't.
But you can't, like you said, you can't speculate what the deal is or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's this. And I think this is what America is splitting up for, is splitting apart about, is because I do listen to conservative Christian radio at times. And I heard somebody said, now that the fact that it came out, that he was basically a thief, he stole some stuff, that that changes the situation. And to me, and I was like, that don't change the situation. I mean, he still got killed in cold blood. He still got, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. I think the problem is we just don't know the info.
We don't know what happened.
Yeah, and it happened from the streets. All we know is cop rolled up, told them don't jaywalk, basically, because I think that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And they made a discussion. Something happened. We don't know, and he ended up being dead.
Yeah, and because that cop didn't know nothing about this.
Yeah.
The point I'm hearing some people make is Mike Brown knew, so he didn't know that the cop didn't know, so he may have been acting a little suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the point is that this is about him getting killed.
Yeah.
Stealing cigars, not stealing cigars, jaywalking, none of those, as far as I've been told, warrant
death.
Yeah.
And also, I just feel like anytime it's a situation like that, especially with a young black man, and even you experience with the older black man in New York that was killed from
Eric Gardner.
Yeah. Like,
because he was selling bootleg cigarettes or something like that?
You know, it's like they start to paint the picture of like these are just some hardcore criminal guys. Same thing with Trayvon Martin. All of a sudden, he's a horrible kid and he's the worst teenager in America. You know, for stuff that had nothing to do with their death. You know what I'm saying? Like, and senseless death.
And I'll leave it with this. And Bizzle had a great point in this whole situation. He tweeted out a picture of him from way before he became a Christian, and he had, was holding up dollar bills, probably bigger than dollars, but he was holding up bills in the air, and I can't remember all the details, but it was, it would be a picture that they would pull up if he was one of these victims, and he's basically saying like, nobody deserves. You don't know what this kid could have been, so it doesn't matter what images you could find of him flipping the bird and doing all this kind of stuff. Bizzle is now one of the champions for the kingdom. Yeah. You robbed him, Mike Brown, of the opportunity to make that choice in the future. Yeah. Wow. So all this stuff about pictures of him flipping the bird and doing all that kind of stuff doesn't justify being killed. We just need to know what happened in the situation, because I don't want to vilify this cop if he acted correctly, but I also don't want to assume that he did. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need to find out. Those couple of seconds when the shots first got fired to the end, we need to know what happened during that time. That's it. All right? You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Ryan Righteous and Sean Tanner.